Peace, Black Power, everybody that's able to get on and look at this, even if it's not live. You still be paying attention. As you can see, I got the Nine Mind hat from a man, Mike Wright. Also, Mike L. That's on Instagram. His name is Mike Wright. As you can see to the back of me, we got Sister Afi Issei's Marcus Garvey painting, and also I'm doing advertising right now before I even get to my point. This is my little brother's painting, Adnan Muhammad's painting that I got from him. Doing a little advertising. More of my stuff that I got from people. Most of the stuff I get is usually from black businesses. Because if we don't support them, who else is going to? So, the main reason why I decided to do this is, just real quick, just want to give y'all an idea. I've actually really been real busy lately, really like doing orders. Like, it seemed like the orders for the DVD Secret Covenant. Let me show you. For this, really went out, but not as much as this one. I know it's backwards, but you get the point. the Khoisan lecture has really just that Khoisan CD has really blew up big time, and especially it really was dope when I got a big order for that, and the Rex 80. I actually ran out of Rex 84 DVD so fast. I gotta stay up and really make some more copies because the bodega ran out and I ran out. But the Netherlands order was deep because the Netherlands order really was I didn't know I was sending my stuff to the Netherlands. I thought I was sending it somewhere, maybe New York or Atlanta or something. But he was like, nah, we need it out there too. I was like, okay. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man. But I put it out there too. But just wanted to give y'all an idea also of what I'm reading right now. Let me see. This is from Mwalimu Baruti, Asafo. This is basically on warrior scholars. Those who really take it seriously. I mean, the main thing is giving those who call themselves warrior scholars, guidelines to follow, to take this very seriously. We not really, a lot of us don't take it seriously. A lot of us don't take teaching very seriously and having a curriculum for our children very seriously, and I do too. And also another book I'm reading right now. Just today I started cracking it open. Oh boy. Backwards again, but it's called Race First by Tony Martin. And it's really these two books really give you a real idea of really, especially Asafo, because that's about warrior scholarship. It gives you guidelines. Don't disrespect black women. Don't you uplift black women. You keep yourself right. You have self-respect. Self-respect goes a long way. Not just who you be around and whether it be drugs, but even sexually. It's all these things. Have self-control. Tony Martin's Race First is regardless of what it really was a breakdown of the UNIA and Marcus Garvey and what he stood for and what his ideology was, as opposed to it just being about, the philosophies and opinions, which is his words. But Tony Martin is also coming from his own research as well. Tony Martin's he's a great scholar too. He's on YouTube. I like him because he comes from the era of scholarship, whereas now it's just armchair revolutionary shit. I'm in my own chair and I'm saying that, but the main reason why I asked a question earlier about the deities of Kemet, what did they walk the earth and what are his principles? The reason why I asked that question was at some point we have to come to a consensus of how or what we're going to teach our children. And if we have a bunch of different opinions, it's funny when I notice even in the same organization, we all have this. We all are not even on the same page, which is like really weird. Like, how you be in the same organization but not be in the same page? The whole point of it is organization is all families become organized under the same roof, and you have to come to a consensus curriculum of what you're going to teach your children. That's very important. And I just was noticing a lot of comments was just like regurgitation of either what my father was teaching or I don't know. It was like all over the place. And my thing is, I'm not going to teach. I'm not going to. Whenever I have children, I'm not going to bring them to anyone that's not really sure about what they're saying. They're kind of all over the place. Well, you say this and you say that. Well, I'm not sure, but if you're not sure, then don't answer the question because you never know why a person's asking you a question. See, my thing is I take this very seriously. This isn't something I just do just to be seen because I don't have to be seen. My thing was when I first started doing like the whole DVD thing, which people at first made fun of, I'm like, damn, another DVD nigga. It was really just, it was like, it came from the conference calls. I did so much conference calls. I did so much subjects. It was a friend of mine, my man Leo Lambert, he was like, you got to make DVDs of this. This is information on here. So I was like, yo, let's just get this information out. And so I didn't really want my face on stuff because my thing was people would just pay attention to me being son of Dr. York. And I wasn't really feeling that. Peace, Katricia. Is that I was like, nah, I don't want to. I just want you to hear what I have to say. And I want you to verify what I'm saying through evidence. I don't want you to, okay, well, Dr. York's son is saying it. So, nah, that's corny. Even though now I'm paying attention because that's real talk. I want people to know who my lineage is. I have a right to come from that. I have a right to uphold whoever is a part of me and who I come from. But at this point, it's about curriculum. See, we say this, we got to agree to disagree. I ain't trying to really argue, but okay, what do we agree on? If we all agree on something, because I'm a novice to this for the most part in terms of Kemet, and I have a good idea of the history of it, but in terms of the intricate spiritual systems, it's time for me to really do some real extensive studying. You know who Dr. York is? Go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Put in Dr. York and you'll get a really good idea of everything. That's a man that written over 500 books. He on over every subject in the world, every religion, science, African history, etc. He's can't really compare him to anybody. I'm just giving you a rundown, Katricia, but if you can look up, let's say, look up Elohim online. So just put in Dr. York and put in Elohim, and then it'll give you a great rundown of what he taught for a long time. Oh, no, it's no problem. I understand that. But for the most part, we have to come to a consensus. This is very important. And I feel like we lost our way as African people. What are we really about? Are we teaching to teach ourselves? Are we teaching, yo, Afi, are we teaching to teach ourselves? Are we teaching to teach our children? Because my thing is, what if I can't teach no more? What if I lose my voice? The ability to do anything? Who would I bring my children to? Who would I bring a child to? It's a lot of them I wouldn't bring them to this day to keep it 200. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I wouldn't, because we have to come to an agreement. It's something that me and Brother Reggie said very recently. He made a really good point. We were talking about the Nawapic language. He just wanted to get to an agreement. Let's just get to the point of what it, who created it. And I told him, I said, the sisters on the land created Nawapic because Pops was like, yo, we need a language. And, we use different dialects, ancient dialects, whether it be hieroglyphic, Demotic, stuff like that. And Napata, it was used to authenticate it. And it was other languages that was put together This is just to give you an example what I mean by a curriculum for children. And he felt like, again, we went from Arabic to Hebrew to Nubic, which is very hard to really get down. So Nuapic was really about getting the children to have something. Yes, he is. Malachi was my dad. The main thing is about the children having something. Now everyone is is getting into Metanetza, which is awesome. But the thing is with Nuapic, it really was a bridge. Rahubat Naim Sharif. And to have something, even if it's just something that we it's a language that we could call our own. And it's crazy now because now it's like it's being disrespected. And it's like I'm just like looking at that like, wow. Whether you don't have to agree with everything my father taught, you don't have to agree with him as a man, but it's funny how he did give black people something. It wasn't like he said, well, if you get this, you have to join the organization. No, Nuapic is something for black people, because we were the only one that didn't have a language. He expressed this several times. But the main thing was for the children, that we could teach this to our children, so that the first language that the children know is something outside of what our enemy gave them. That should be something that we should be able to hang our heads on, but we don't think about that. It's like, oh well, fuck that. I don't agree with no Nuapic. You don't have to. See, my thing is I don't push my experience on anybody. I'm a 35-year-old man. For the most part, I just keep quiet and I just pay attention. Now, people tell me exactly who they are by just what they do. I don't have to ask, so what you about? Just give them, they let you know what they're about by what they do to you and by what they do to other people and what they do around. What their actions are tells you everything. So my thing is about curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny when people say, well, can you do more than just teach? I'm like, yeah, those who know me know that. But my thing is about how do we move forward in this next paradigm? Do we have something that, okay, you know what I'm saying, you have a group, a bunch of us are like, well, I may not agree with the Morris Science Simple. I don't agree with the Hebrew Israelites. I don't agree with them. That's a choice. Peace, Umar XL. But at the same time, what have you prepared for your children? Because the one thing I could say that I've learned from Baruti was that he created a curriculum to save the black family. That was his main goal that I could understand from my standpoint. I could be wrong, but that's what I got from the elder, from Baba. And we have to come to an agreement. And it's funny, when before I got online, before I got, live, I saw the brother Charles. He was looking at, like, he had like a piece of Hidden Colors where what's the sister Charles Ali? She said that we all need to agree on something. You can have a bunch of scholars that don't agree on nothing. And that's still true to this day. You got a bunch of scholars that's just up there, just ego stroking, intellectual masturbating, and not getting to any real concrete conclusion. Like just to say, for example, last month I did the Khoisan lecture, South Africa lecture. I did that lecture. The whole point of it was not so much about how old they are, but it was like the intricate detail of what's going on with a group of Africans who are almost non-existent anymore. Wabu, Islam. And it's like, okay, we have to learn from this group as of what happened and what is happening to them right now. You know what I'm saying? That's real. What do you, as a group, what do you as black people, I'm not worried about organizations no more. I really don't care. Because it comes down to, what do we, as a group of black people, are going to teach our children? What are we going to teach our children? I keep reiterating this. You know what I'm saying? Like when I said, okay, go back to Khoisan lecture. European archaeologists all agree that they go back about 100,000 years in existence. They all agree to that, okay? That they're considered to be the oldest people on the planet. That's not necessarily true because you have others in Kenya that go back to the millions. You have Lucy's group that go back to the millions. So that's not, but they agree on something. And we got to think about that. They all came together, European archaeologists, and they gave you a date on African people. Okay? That means they all came together and said, this is what we all going to agree on this. When will we be able to do the same thing? I don't care who you're under. I don't care if you're under Dr. York, John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, Ashfar Kwesi. If you all are under that, I'm on a train going underground. I agree with you having a curriculum for the children. This is the point I am at as teaching my children. Yeah, man. Shout out to Raga Organ. I can't stress that enough. My thing is, okay, 10 to 20 of us, 10 to 20 scholars got to come together and say, okay, do you agree on that? Do we agree this is what we're going to teach our children? That Kemet goes back X amount of years. That Kush goes back X amount of years. The Moors did this. The Moors did that. Whatever. Good, bad, up or down, I don't care. Whatever. We all have to agree on something so that we can create the curriculum so that when we have enough African-centered schools, that's what's going to be taught in the curriculum. This is very important if we're going to really move forward as a people. If we don't have any culture, that's why this is so important. If we don't really have a culture to teach our children, we don't have anything. We're just a bunch of niggas arguing all day. Yeah, I know it's I'm at the top floor, so a lot of times just where it's like it freezes, the connection gets bad. Bear with me though. But yeah, I don't have that much time left. But that's the thing. I'm done arguing. I'm done seeing debates. I said this earlier. I said this before. Because what it does is it doesn't come. There's no consensus agreement to whatever is going to be after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Someone, that's why I don't pay attention. I would rather correlate with people. That's why I correlate with Dr. Kyles a lot because at least me and him can agree on certain things. Not everything, but we agree, okay, this is what this is. Okay, we go agree on this and we going to teach that. We going to teach this curriculum. He has his own lectures every Sunday that he does, whether I'm there or not. But we work together because for the most part, we agree on certain things that we're going to teach the people when they come in. That's cohesiveness. Black people have to get cohesiveness. And then we have to move the people out. This is reality. Who don't want to bring in cohesiveness. They just want to come in with separate agendas. And a lot of times those separate agendas don't, what are they there for? You understand? If you're not about teaching your children, coming in as a warrior scholar, then you're wasting time. And to me personally, it's again, it goes back again to self-control. Because that self-control will get you to be able to put yourself in the right position to keep the purpose going. Because the ultimate purpose is for our children to have a curriculum. That's what it's all about, man. Truthfully, I don't have time to waste. I put myself on a clock on everything that I do because it's about getting this information out. Shout out to Brandon Lamar Skates. He'll be on Nine Mind Radio next week. He's a serious dude about getting information out, about actually teaching about what it means to be a scholar. Because we talked yesterday about the difference between being a lecturer and a scholar. And a lecturer can go up there and don't have to get no sources and don't have to say nothing about nothing. I mean, they just talk, but then you have the scholar. He may not even do a lecture, but when he does, he has information to back up what he says. And that's very important because there's a lot of people out here who are just talking. And we got to get beyond that. We got to get beyond that. And it's funny, and I say, why you have to have some type of a group that filters out the bullshit. Because you got people in this that are teaching that really don't have a real agenda. Yeah, you're right, Afi. That's correct. It's crazy. It's like my thing is I don't want to end up name dropping, but I just watch, and my thing is once I watch and once I see, I just distance myself. You know what I'm saying? People just show you who they are and you move on, and we're just so far in time, so you can't waste time no more. You just can't waste time. Can't waste time with people because they'll just hold you back. Because some people just like debating you, and they like just wasting time. And then it's people who are again lecturers that again they don't have a real curriculum. They're just here to make money. And I just saw Shaka say the same thing. It was like just people with different purposes, and that shit. He was so on point with what he said. I was like, wow. He on some real shit. What he said. You know, sometimes you gotta just back off because people are in this and it's crowded. You know, because for a minute it was like real small, but now everybody wants to be conscious, so people are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? These are hustlers and pimps in the conscious community. Yeah, you got con artists, and you got pimps. People are coming in this to get money, and they coming in this to get women. You know what I mean? And it's like people are all over the place. And when you're in this for the right reason, you get less notoriety, but then you know you're doing it for the right reason. Because we are here to build our character. Once you understand why you are here to build your character. You're gonna keep yourself right. And everybody else around you gonna have to keep themselves right, or they're gonna have to leave. So again, my main point of me going live was about curriculum for our children. That's why I asked the question earlier. And for the most part, the sister Wabet, we came to pretty much an agreement. Because I'm new, I'm leaving one to get to a next, just to get a perspective on something and to really learn. Because I'm not a closed-minded person. I used to be dogmatic and in the WAPO, you couldn't tell me shit. But now I'm willing to bend and learn different things just for me to, you know, to grow. You gotta grow. You gotta want to grow. You have to want to evolve. And I remember talking to Professor James Smalls in Dallas, and he's like, you know, you're growing. And sometimes people get mad at you when you want to grow, because they want you to be where they are. They don't want to leave where they are, because where they are is their religion. And I've never been a really religious person. I've mostly been whatever, until I really learning more about myself. You have me a lot to think about. Yeah. You gave me I give my soul I think about. Because we got to get it right. We got to get it right, man. We got to get it right. We have children to teach. And see, and it's crazy because I think crazy. Like when I'm around conscious people and group, you know, whether it be group settings or whether it be like, I don't know, if I go to an organization and I look to see how are the children being raised, how are the children evolving beyond their parents. And it's crazy because I was raised in a culture since I was 17 where, truthfully, me being Dr. York's son and whatnot, really wasn't able to grow beyond him. You know, I had to stay under him, and it was like kind of difficult because then you really can't grow, and you can't do things on your own. Even when you feel like this is something I want to do, you can't do it. And now that I'm not in the organization no more and I'm able to just learn, then I'm able to move. What's going on, Leotis? And you got to do that. You got to be able to grow and evolve. And that's also part of it. And that's the thing. We don't, and I don't want to go all over the place, but that's just real, man. you know, part of every time I go live, I give you a part of who I am and where I've come from and what makes me who I am. You know, it's a struggle every day, but that's the thing that I want to reach is that if, let's say, for example, again, the last of the great scholars you got now, we have Tony Browder, Ashra Kwesi, Professor Smalls. I'm mentioning just men, but man, remember Ani. Just for the most part that I know, they all have to come together, even if I'm part of it or not. That this is what we're going to teach our children, and we move forward from that. Because we have to at least show the rest of the world that we can agree that this will be our education. And if we can do that, my thing, I'm not about just, you got to prove to the white man. It ain't really about that. It's just, we have to be able to, because we're going through, we're at war and we're going through genocide. So you have to be able to preserve your culture. And one of the main points I made in the Khoisan lecture was, a culture itself can be eliminated if it has no language and it has not been preserved properly by the people. And we're not preserving who we are very well. That's why we're all over the place. And, oh, thank you, Bania Bello, Latoya. Thank you for that one. I was just thinking of for others. And it's funny because Bania is going to be in the new Tariq movie about Haiti. She's going to be in there, man. Her and I think Professor Small. They seem like the best experts, especially Bania Bello. She's like it. She's it. But we have to come to a consensus agreement on our curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Even if a group don't like it, well, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel I'm not African. I'm indigenous. I'm Native American. Okay, well, if the majority don't agree with that, then you can still say that, but you may not be a part of that curriculum, because at least we can agree. Before we was indigenous to America, we was in Africa first, and we sprouted out across the world. That has been proven to be true. If we cannot do that, then we should not be moving forward no more lectures, because we're just going all over the place, just collecting money, teaching, and running out of breath. But again, that's my whole point of tonight, was about moving forward. And again, I really want to advertise. Going back. Damn, going the wrong way. Sister Afi's. Damn, I can't even do my stuff right. Marcus Garvey poem, Marcus Garvey painting. See how dope that is? That was dope. That is really, really dope. And my hat, my 9-mile hat by Mike Wright-L. As you can see, the scarab right here, the representation of 9 Khepera. And you see the Ankh and everything. Also, it's also a representation of 9 of eternal, the 9 stages of the womb of the woman. And so, again, that's it. Again, I just want to, for all the men out there and women as well, but the men specifically, get the book again. This will change your life. Asafo and Wally Mubaruti. And Wally Mubaruti, look up this one, because it will change your life. It will force you to change your life and get your mind right. And as well, like I did before, Race First by Tony Martin. We got to think race first before anything else. All the other stuff is irrelevant. Think race first. And anyone who doesn't think black first and African first,